What's up, guys? Hey, it's happy you're here. We're gonna have a cool lesson today. The title is Celebrate God's Love for Others. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be talking about the prodigal son. We're gonna finish the story today. So, enjoy the story. There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven, against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. This son, he was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. 'Your brother has come,' he replied, 'and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has him back, safe and sound.' The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, 'Look, all these years I have been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours who has squandered your property with sinners comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him?' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.'" Hey, what's up, guys? Wow, man, that was an amazing story. We're just seeing that older brother this time, and how the older brother was so mad about his younger brother. He was like, "Dad, why is he here?" And his dad was like, "'Cause I love him." And then his dad was like, "And I love you too." And his brother was like, "Ah!" Right? So I love that story, right? And what I really want to focus in is that older brother. And the title of my lesson is that we should celebrate God's love for others, right? And that older brother, he should have been happy for his younger brother. In the same way, we should be happy for others when they accept the love of Jesus, just like he should have been happy that his younger brother accepted the love of his father, right? And so in the same way, let's hop into this. And man, I was just thinking about, I want to tell you this story. And so one time, actually, and so last week, me, Freddie, and maybe you know Manny too, we went fishing, right? And so we were fishing in the ocean, and we were in our kayaks. And so we're paddling, and we're going out there, and then we all of a sudden we see all these birds, and all these birds tell us that there's little fish around. And then when there's little fish, there's big fish. So we start casting, and I had a really good bait, and a bait is what the fish like to eat, and that's on the end of my hook. And boom, I catch one, and then boom, I catch another one, and boom, I catch another one. But my brother, he didn't have the right bait, and he couldn't switch it because we were, way out there in the ocean. And so after a little while, I said, "Ace," I said, "Bro, you can have my pole, take my pole." And so Freddie took my pole, and then a little bit later, boom, he caught one because it was the right bait. And although I didn't catch one for quite a while after that, I gave him my pole because I want him to catch fish just as much as I want to catch fish, right? Because it wasn't a competition. We were just out there having fun, and I was happy when he did well, and he was happy when I did well, right? And in the same way, I think that we need to be happy when other people accept God, when other people begin to love Jesus, when others understand his love for them, right? And in the same, that we need to have not a spirit of competition, but a spirit of love and celebration. That we're all in this together, that we're all searching for God, and we're all finding His love together. It's not a competition, and it's not something we earn, it's something we just are able to accept. Right? And so in the story, maybe you remember that older brother, he was angry, right? And he's mad. He's like, ah! Right? And his dad wants him to understand why he should be happy that his brother is home. Right? And so because the father's love is unconditional meaning it's not based on the younger brother's good works, but it's based on the father's love for him, the older brother should celebrate that his brother is home. Right? And so you should understand that when Jesus is telling this story about the prodigal son, he's talking to Pharisees. Right? And these Pharisees are religious leaders who were angry that Jesus was spending time with what you would call sinners. With what you would call people who were maybe lower down, people who were maybe a little poorer, people who had diseases and maybe were dirty, people that you wouldn't want to be around necessarily. And so these religious leaders are angry at Jesus, and they're like, you're making light of sin. You're spending time with people that you shouldn't be spending time with. Right? You're compromising. You're making light of sin. And they're mad at Jesus. And Jesus is explaining to him that he didn't come for those who were healthy, but he came for those who were far off. Right? And so Jesus, he's telling the story to help them understand that they are the older brother. That they are the ones who are angry when God shows His love to those who are unexpected. When God shows His love to those who might not necessarily deserve it. And what the Father is trying to show His Son in this story is that His love is unconditional. Right? His love wasn't something that the older brother had to earn. His love was just something that he had to accept. And this older brother thought this whole time that when he was working in the field and he was doing all this work, that he was earning his father's love. But what the Father is showing him is that he never earned it. He had it the whole time. Right? I thought about it like this older brother, like imagine he had to wear glasses like me, and this whole time he had been searching for his glasses. Right? He's searching for his glasses, and he's on the ground looking, and he's looking for these glasses. And then he realizes all of a sudden, he looks in the mirror and he says, my glasses were on my face the whole time. Right? In the same way, right? The Father's saying to this older brother, you're trying to search for my love, you're trying to earn my love, but my love has been with you this whole time. You've always been with me, he said. All that I have is yours. In the same way, guys, Jesus, His love has been there for us this entire time. We never had to earn it. And that older brother didn't understand that. And that's why he was angry with his younger brother. Because he was saying, why is my younger brother getting all this love? He hasn't earned it. And I've done everything to earn it. And where is my love? And the Father says, you've always had my love, and now I'm bringing him into my love too. Right? And so because the older brother had always had the love, he was able to celebrate that now his younger brother had the love too. Because none of them had ever earned it. They had only received it. In the same way, that's what it is for us. We can celebrate for anybody who comes to know Jesus. We can be so happy, and we can be pumped, and we don't have to be jealous. We don't have to be frustrated that certain people are loving Jesus. Maybe people that you know who maybe were mean to you once. Maybe people who talked behind your back. Maybe people who once made you sad, or people who ignored you, or people who bullied you. Maybe that person that you have been hurt by. Maybe even in church. Maybe a friend that isn't a friend anymore. That you're like, why does God love them? Why does God care about them? They're so mean. They don't deserve His love. They were mean to me once. And God's saying, listen to me. They never deserved it. You never deserved it. I'm just giving it. It's a free gift. And you can be happy that now they're coming to know Jesus. I remember one time, I was probably in middle school, and this is before I'd really understood, God's love to the full extent. And I remember seeing some kids from school come to church, and I remember sitting there, and I didn't talk to them. I didn't go up to them. I was kind of just annoyed because they were mean sometimes, and they didn't love God, or they didn't seem like it. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, why are they here? Like, they shouldn't be here. They don't know about Jesus. They don't love Jesus. What are they doing here? They don't deserve his love. I remember, I didn't think about it that exact way, but that's the feeling I had. And now I realize I should have been so happy that they were there. And then I should have walked up to them and said, how are you? I should have said, man, I'm so happy you're here. I should have said, man, can we pray together? Wow, what a cool time we're having. I should have accepted them. I should have welcomed them. But instead, I was angry because I thought that they didn't deserve it. But in reality, God was giving them a free gift of his love. In the same way, guys, we have to celebrate for those who come to know Jesus. Even if maybe we think they didn't deserve it, realize that they never earned it. All they can do is accept it, and that's all we can do as well. Right? I thought about it like imagine if maybe your grandma or your grandpa or maybe somebody, they give you $20 to you every Christmas, and they give $20 to all of your cousins as well, and your brother, maybe your sister if you have a brother or sister, and they give you $20, and they give everyone $20 every Christmas. But then a little bit before Christmas, you go over your grandmother's house, and what you start doing is you clean her backyard a little bit, you mow her grass, maybe you help her with groceries, maybe you clean her car, right? And then all of a sudden Christmas rolls around, and you're walking in, you're like, dude, I think I'm gonna be making some money today. And then you look at your cousins and say, I don't think you're making any money today. And then your grandma starts handing out $20 to each person, to each of your cousins, to your brother, to your sister maybe. And then you're like, Grandma, what are you doing? Grandma, I'm the one who's been at your house helping you and doing all this stuff. I deserve the money. They don't. Why are you giving them any money? And then your grandma probably would say this. I don't give you money because you did something for me. I give you money because you're my grandchild and I love you. And I give them money because they're my grandchild and I love them too. Right? So guys, we don't earn God's love. Just like you don't earn your grandparents' love in their money. They give it because they love you and they care for you. And in the same way, God gives his forgiveness and his love because he loves us and cares for us. So we shouldn't be mad that anybody ever begins to love Jesus and know Jesus. We should celebrate that, hey, everybody got $20. Right? And we need to celebrate that people can come to know Jesus no matter who they are and what they've done. It's amazing. It's an amazing story here that we find. So guys, whether you know somebody or not, I want you to think of something. Either maybe you do know somebody and someone's on your mind who you're angry that they know Jesus. I want you to begin to prepare to go up to them and be their friend and care about them and say something nice and celebrate with them. And then maybe you don't know somebody. I want you to think about who that person is. Somebody maybe even in your school. And I want you to think, man, if they went to church, would I be happy? If they knew Jesus, would I be happy or would I be mad? And I want you to begin to try and care about them in a different way. That's not based on whether they deserve Jesus, but based on the fact that nobody does, but we all have the opportunity to know and be loved by Jesus and care about that person. So guys, I hope you get something out of this. I hope you feel God's love and you know that he loves everyone else. I just pray that you would celebrate when others come to know the love of Jesus, because none of us deserved it, but he just gives his forgiveness and unconditional love. It's amazing. So guys, let me pray. Lord, I just pray that you just be with us, strengthen us, help us, Lord, to see other people in your perspective, which is a perspective of love and forgiveness, a perspective of longing to be with you. God, I pray, Lord, you would just guide us and help us to be all that we can be. And God, you'd bless those who are being affected by coronavirus, those who maybe have contracted the virus, or those maybe who have loved ones who have it. I pray you'd be their peace, their healing, their strength. That God, you'd be their future. Lord, I pray, Lord, that you bless the medical professionals and the frontline workers. I pray you'd give them just determination, you'd give them peace, and you give them all that they need to just do what they have to do. We thank you, Lord, that you're the Almighty God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, that you bring peace, love, and forgiveness. Help us have faith. Lord, you are good. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Hey, guys, I hope to see you soon. Hey, enjoy this craft as well. See you guys. What is up, guys? Hey, that was a really cool lesson, a really cool video, and now we need a really cool craft. So this week, this is what we're making. Boom, pow, pang, right there. This is, I'll show you a better picture later, but this is the father coming out to the older brother, right? And we're doing it at nighttime because it was the end of the day. If you didn't know, our story is the prodigal son, and this week we learned about the older brother, and the title was Celebrating the Love of God for Others, right? And so we have a super cool craft, and we had a super cool lesson, and so let's hop into it. All right, guys. So here is what we're gonna make. You can do. So I did it at nighttime, but this is the father's house. This is a tree. Here's the son, looking kind of angry. Look at him right there. That's the older son looking angry. You see his arms crossed. And then here is the father, right? And so for this craft, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the father right there, and it's like he's leaving the house, and he's coming to his son and giving him a hug, right? So that's what we're gonna make today. So let's hop into it. So first things first, let me get a blank piece of paper. We have a blank piece of paper. So what we're going to do is begin to draw. So first things first is you might want to, like what we usually do when we have extra pieces, is just go ahead and fold 1.5 inches, 2 inches over, and then you have that there. So now our scene is going to be here, and then this is here. So what you might want to do now is draw yourself a horizon. You might want to make it wavy. And then I drew the house like this. So I made a little line right here. Then I made a big line right here. And then what you do is you connect it there, and then you just go ahead and draw these lines right out across the line, and then to the end of the paper, and then just erase your horizon. And what you could also do is just stop drawing your horizon here, and then draw this. So what you want to do next is maybe draw a door. So go ahead and draw a door like this. See, and then you could draw like a little doorknob, and then maybe I like to draw windows so that you can see the people partying inside, and I just put this right here. That's a column. And then what we do, if you want, you could draw some background stuff. Draw a tree, maybe. You could draw whatever you want. This is not the greatest tree, but that's okay. And then like that. And then what you want to do is start drawing your people. And so for sake of time, I'm just going to draw some stick figures here. But take your time. Draw some people, as much as you want. But these are the people celebrating inside that the prodigal son is home. And then we have the older brother outside, like over here. And he is angry. So his arms are crossed. Arms are crossed. And then maybe draw a little walkway from there. Right? And then you want to draw your father over here. So I'll give you guys a better look at each character. That way you can take your time with it and draw them well. But let's just take a look. I'm draw your father right here. I'll draw a sticky figure for now. And I gave him a beard, because I think, beards are cool. And he's a good dad. All right. Then what you want to do is maybe draw a moon. So you can either do this at day or at night. I did a nighttime scene because we haven't done one yet. But whatever you want to do. So if you want to draw a sun, go ahead and draw a big circle. But I'm gonna make a moon because I like the nighttime. So once you have all this done, what you can do is begin to color. So maybe you can either use, I have colored pencils here because the people are kind of detailed and I wanted to draw them well. Or you can also use crayons. So go ahead and draw this green. This is your grass right here. And then if you want to draw your sky, what I did for the sky is, I'll show you in the other pictures, I made it like a light gray. And then I darkened it up as I went out, because the moon gives off light, and I wanted to show how it's lighter towards the moon and darker away from the moon. So I'll show you how that works too. But go ahead and just begin to color everything in, color the Father, color the people inside, and then what you'll end up with is, let me grab this. And so once this is all colored, right here, what you can start doing is cutting out. So why don't I just go ahead and color first a little bit. So green, 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 kind of a clay color, right? Kind of a brown color right here. And then I drew a nighttime sky, so I have gray for around the moon, and then black away from the moon. And I make it darker and darker as the farther away I get from the moon. Like that. And then go ahead and color your people. And then what you want to do once everything is colored is you want to cut out the Father. Once you've colored him, just go ahead and cut this out and cut him out. Also, you probably want to do this is you want to draw a tab to hold him from. So you can just draw a line like this. That way you hold on to this piece right here. You get what I'm saying? That way when he goes through the slot, you have something to hold on to, you know? So once you have, you know, yours is going to be better cut out than that, and he's going to be colored, right? But then you're going to go ahead. You guys know the most important thing is your slot. That way you can put him in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this. You're going to fold this right on the edge of the walkway. Take your scissors. Go ahead and cut a slot. And then go ahead and just cut right along the walkway, because the Father's going to walk along the walkway. And then once everything is colored, you know, you can stick your dad through, stick the Father through, and he is going to run to the Son. All right, so let me show you the finished product here. So, oh, where'd my guy go? Oh, there he is. So we have this. So our dad, our Father, is running from the house to his Son. Just like that. He gives him a big hug. Right? And guys, another thing you can do is I put some, as you can see, some yellow stars up in there. What I did is I took a piece of paper, I colored it yellow, like that. Right? And then I took it and I cut some slits, but I didn't cut all the way. You see how I left it? See how I'm not cutting all the way? Then what you can do is you come along the edge that you did cut. Boom, stars. Right? And then I would take these stars and I would take a glue stick. I take a glue stick, and what I do is I take it, I throw it on the glue, get some glue on it, and then I take it and I put it, if it comes off my finger, right there. And then you guys can just keep doing that, put all the stars you want in there. It's kind of cool. But yeah, guys, have some fun. Go ahead and make an awesome project. I'm sure you're going to have some great projects. But just remember that we need to celebrate God's love for other people, right? And that was the moral of the story. That was what Jesus was trying to get across. So have fun with it, and I'll see you soon.